Boys for Life is the third film in the Bad Boys franchise. It's the first Bad Boys movie that we've gotten since 2002. I have to look that up, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that Bad Boys 2 came out in 2002, and before that, the first Bad Boys movie came out in 1995. This is a franchise that's literally been spanning for like almost 25 years. Once again, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith are back in the roles of Mike Lowrey and Marcus Burnett, although we don't call him Marcus Burnett, we just call him Marcus in these movies, or we shout his name like Mike does all the time. There's a bunch of other talented people in this movie, including Vanessa Hudgens, but once again, the story follows Mike Lowrey and Marcus as they both embark on an adventure that's more than they bargained for. There's this mysterious assassin who's running around assassinating people, and it feels like all of these killings are all connected, and then it turns out Mike is actually a target. So even though Marcus is kind of like, I'm retired at this point, he comes back and he helps Mike try to figure out who's trying to kill him and who killed these other targets and what do they all have in common. There's a mysterious enemy trying to manipulate and kill people from the shadows, and there's a motivation there. Other than that, it's a typical big bang, loud actions, explosions, gunshots, shit-talking type of movie that you would expect from a Bad Boys movie. Bad Boys! They're not bad boys anymore, they're grown-ass older men. Maybe it's kind of like Marcus said in the trailer, where he's like, maybe we should just try to be good men. But if you actually think about it, good men don't roll off the tongue the same way the Bad Boys do. Like, Bad Boys for life, right? We ride together, we die together, even if we're old as shit. It's one of those things where if I tried to go like, good man, no, you see, it just doesn't work as much. In terms of my relationship with the Bad Boy franchise, it's kind of a mixed bag. I would say that I'm a casual fan. Like, I like the movies. I don't love them, if that makes sense. I really enjoyed the first Bad Boys movie. The second one, I tolerate. I mean, it's not really that good to me. I'm not gonna lie though, that scene with Reggie is like hands down one of the funniest improvised scenes that I've ever seen in a movie like that ever. Like, there's a bunch of other ones, but that one's definitely close to the top. Going into this movie, I had little to no expectations, not to mention the fact that it's a movie that takes place in January, and we know what a garbage dump January is. I am pleased to report that this movie not only was not bad, it was actually fun. Not only was it fun, it was actually pretty good. Looking at this movie now is kind of like the savior. Like, did you save us? Have you delivered us from January? It's a slight exaggeration. I know that sometimes there are decent movies in January, but for the most part, come on. It's just a place where Hollywood likes to dump the movies that they don't care about. There's an overwhelming, alarming number of shit that comes out in January as opposed to the decent movies that you might see or you might not. So I'm just sitting here on my knees in the theater damn near, like metaphorically praising this movie. Like, thank you. Thank you. Thank God for having this movie actually be good. Although in fairness, I do see Doolittle tomorrow, so I don't know how long this shit's gonna last. It's on you, God, all right? I hope this shit lasts more than a day. You obviously have to start with Mike and Marcus, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. They kill it just like they always do. These two have such undeniably great chemistry. They fit well together like a hand inside a glove, like white on rice, however you want to put it. These guys were just born to play these characters and to play best friends in these movies and to have their banter and to just bounce dialogue off each other. It's just a lot of fun to watch. If you're looking for like best chemistry in like a buddy cop type of movie, like, you have to look at Lethal Weapon. You obviously have to look at Rush Hour with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. Then you also have to consider what these guys have accomplished in these three movies. You want to look at Mandingo and Cherokee Diaz. Now that is a buddy cop movie that I think a lot of people would enjoy, but might be kids watching this. You know what? You don't have to worry about who Cherokee Diaz is, but you know, X-Videos. Not only were they funny, not only did they kick ass when they needed to in this movie, there's a surprising amount of emotional depth. What they do with the story and how they connect it to the villains, who are also much more impressive than usual for a Bad Boy movie. I gotta say, I was very impressed at how they added to the emotional core of this movie. At its core, this movie is actually about consequences of your actions and your own mortality. I was sitting there in the theater shocked as hell. I was like, wait a minute. Is this a Bad Boys movie? Like, holy shit, this is actually getting kind of emotional. Let me sit up in my seat. Oh, goddamn. There's still the same type of shenanigans. There's some great action sequences. I like the way that the action sequences in this film were helmed and shot. The shots linger a little bit more. There's less shaky cam. There's less quick cuts. And I like that. I like the fact that the action scenes feel coherent here. Some of the green screen for some of the action could have been better, I'm not gonna lie. I also like the supporting characters. They do a good job at staying in their lane. They don't get in the way. They don't overshadow the heroes at any point. This other chick who plays like a lieutenant or another detective in this movie who's working with them, I can't remember the actress's name, but good lord. Good lord. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Sometimes it's all you need to say. I really appreciated the direction that they took the villains in this movie and how they made them not only a threat, but also tied them into the personal lives of our two main characters. Martin Lawrence, who came out of retirement for this movie, is as good as he's ever been. As far as issues with the movie, yeah, I think they could have like cut the movie down a little bit. There are some scenes where it drags. Like maybe they could have taken 15 minutes off. Doesn't mean that the movie's boring or anything, but I just feel like the movie was a little bit too long. It did kind of overstay its welcome, so to speak. It's a weird moment where I never thought I'd say that I miss Michael Bay, but I miss Michael Bay's touch in some of the action scenes. One of those weird things where I feel like a hypocrite because I can't critique the action sequences necessarily, like I can't criticize them because they're well done and they're well filmed. At the same time, you can't help but watch them and feel like that Bayhem, that energy that Michael Bay is able to bring to his action sequences, it's missing a little bit. Like the action scenes here are a little bit more conventional. Biggest issue with this movie is that there are certain motivations and character changes that the movie wants you to believe in, and I don't think that they were always executed the way that the movie wanted them to be. Some choices that some characters make, some shifts where they have to change their behavior and become a different person, especially towards the third act. It was hard for me to really buy into it. Like I didn't really buy what the movie was selling. Overall, Bad Boys for Life was fun. I kind of think they should end it here, but if they wanted to do another one, as long as Mike Lowrey and Marcus are gonna be this fun, sure, sign me up. Bad Boys for Life was a surprisingly fun time at the movies in January. I'm gonna put this one in the Silver Age for Man of Steel. Definitely a missed opportunity to not have the fourth one be Bad Boys for Life, right? I mean, we all acknowledge that. All right, guys, so tell me, have you seen Bad Boys for Life, and which one is your favorite Bad Boys movie? Put that in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.